Hi and welcome to the Book Lab. I'm Björn, and in this video I'm going to share the books that I'm most excited to explore for the rest of this year. So if you're on a lookout for great non-fiction books and need some inspiration, you have come to the right place. These are books covering very different topics. Some are new releases, some are old, some are really old, and we cover a bunch of different topics. Everything from philosophy, psychology, anything on human nature and human potential. So let's just dive right into it. The first book that I want to talk about, I've already started, and it's called A Billion Wicked Thoughts. This book offers an insight into human sexual desires based on data, searched data from famous pornographic sites, and it gives a very interesting look into human sexual relationships. So why is this interesting? Well, because if you would ask a random person about their sexual appetites, which you won't because you would come off as weird, and if you dare to ask, you would probably get a lie back. That's the problem with gathering data around this topic. There's all these taboos. People are not really honest. People are not really willing to share their most perverted kinks with everyone else. And that's what makes this book special, because these researchers, they've gotten access to a lot of search data from pornographic sites, and they have come to some really interesting conclusions about the difference between male and female, between different cultures, and what kind of sexual preferences they have. So I've been sharing a lot of notes on Twitter or X from this book, and the response has been quite overwhelming. Like 50 to 80,000 people are reading these threads. There's a big interest for this book, so I'm really looking forward to put out my review for this one. The first book that I think you should take a close look at is A Billion Wicked Thoughts. I'm enjoying it thoroughly. I'm about 1/3 through it. A second book that I'm really looking forward to, I don't have it here yet because it's quite a new release, and it's Elon Musk by Walter Isaacson. Why am I interested in this book? There are two main reasons. The first one being that Walter Isaacson is my favorite biographer. I really liked his books, Benjamin Franklin, Einstein, and this one, Steve Jobs. They're all been just so good. He's really great at documenting these inventors and visionaries' lives. Even though I read Ashley Van's take on Elon Musk, this author put out a book about him in 2015, I think, and I've already read it. But why am I still excited about this new book? Well, it's been a couple of years, right? And Elon Musk, he kept himself busy. There's been so much going on. I think the old biography ended somewhere with the start of SpaceX or somewhere in there, and there's been so many things going on ever since then. So I'm really looking forward to a more updated look at Elon's life, and also the more recent years, when a lot of interesting things have happened. He has taken over Twitter, for instance. So I've heard good things about this book. I'm really looking forward to it. The third book I just got in the mail, actually, and it's this book, Determined by Robert Sapolsky. He is a behavioral scientist, one of the best, and I really enjoyed his last book, Behave: The Biology of Humans at Our Best and Worst. This book really made a mark on me, and when I realized that he had a new book coming out, I really wanted to get it. This one is about free will or determinism. Do we really have free will? And I'm a bit intimidated by this book, because his books are quite hard to get into. They're complex, and that's also why I love them, because they're very nuanced. So I'm really looking forward to diving into this one, and hopefully I can process it and share any findings with you. But this is one of the books that it's probably the most anticipated book this year for me. So I'm really looking forward to start that probably next week or the week after that. One book that I just found out about recently through the videos that I do, where I break down the most exciting non-fiction releases that come out each month. I put them out on the channel every month. So if you enjoy the content and like this video, I'm sure these videos will pop up on your feed when I publish them. This book is Same as Ever by Morgan Housel. He is famous for his book The Psychology of Money, and the reason I'm interested in his follow-up book with the quite boring title, to be honest, the title is Same as Ever, is that it goes into some fundamental truths. It looks at the patterns that are reoccurring throughout history. Instead of looking at what's changing all around us, he's looking at the pattern that seems to repeat and always be the same. So I'm looking forward to that, because I'm always into learning about the fundamental rules and truth about life. So that's one of the books that are really high on my list, and hopefully I will have a review up of that very soon. If you read any of the books that I've talked about in this video, then share what you think about them in the comments. It would be really nice to get to know more about them, and whatever takeaways you have from these books. That would be super interesting for me to read about. And the last one, it's a very fundamental text for many people. Even for me here in Sweden, we are a Christian country, even though we are quite secular. I'm actually wanting to read the Bible. Let's see. I'm not a very religious guy, but I feel like this book has impacted so much of the values and institutions and just the way humans behave that I really want to get a first-hand look at it. What I have here is the King James version, and of course this is a beast to tackle. I mean, this is just like insane amount of text, but it's been on my to-read list for 5 years, and I just need to actually muster up the energy and just take it on. One reason I got reminded again that I wanted to read this book is that I started to have discussions with my 8-year-old son about Adam and Eve, the flood, the symbol of the serpent, and why serpents represent the devil. And I realized that I don't know all of this stuff, but I also noticed that I find it interesting. And these are symbols and stories that reoccur so much throughout the culture I see around me. So I want to have like a better understanding of that, and there must be a reason why this book is still popular today and it has impacted so many people's lives. So looking forward to sharing whatever I get from that reading. So this was just a quick video, and next week I will review The Scarcity Brain, or Scarcity Brain. It's by the author of The Comfort Crisis, Michael Easter. This is a new release, and it focuses on why we crave things, why we want more of everything, and the psychology behind all of that. And I will share a full breakdown of that next week. I'm almost finished with the book, so I just need to wrap up my thoughts around it, and I will share it with you. So thanks for listening. This was a quick video. I'm just now gonna record another one for Patreon, and I think you can become a member on Patreon freely now if you want to check out the content that I put out there for the people that back BookLab with money and help keep the light on by providing donations to the channel. That video is going to be about, I'm going to actually, if it's for Nonfiction November, I'm going to recommend some books that I have here that I think are underappreciated, books that no one really talks about but that are excellent. So I'm going to record that video now. Have a great week and happy reading to you. See you next week.